I'm Jessica Lohman from Ethical Brand Marketing, and today I'd like to talk about ethical marketing and what that actually means. I've been a marketer since 1991, so it's been a while. I got my marketing degree, and back then things were a lot different. We didn't have the internet. I even wrote my papers on a typewriter, believe it or not. And so, we knew about false labeling, false advertising, and all that stuff, but it's just a lot different now. So, with the internet and everybody's online marketing, there are so many different tricks, scarcity, urgency tactics to make people uh, be forced or pressured to buy, and all this excessive consumerism that's been going on for decades. It's just gotten worse now. It's ruining our environment. It's killing off species. It's causing people to get compulsive buying disorder, which can ruin a family because they go into bankruptcy. There's just so much damage that that's been going on because we want more. We want cheap, and we want more, more, more. And people are addicted to shopping. And so, our society is becoming more conscious. Granted, in the past year, there has not been a day in the news or in the newspaper where we haven't talked about how to save our planet, or how to save ourselves, basically. So I'm super grateful for all the talk and communication, but I still see the consumerism, the unnecessary consumerism that's just destructive. So what I thought to do is to dig deep and get to the root of the problem and how I can help solve that problem. The root of the problem technically really is overpopulation, but I won't talk about that today. That's going to be another subject for another time, because that's right. To solve that problem is crazy. It's got to happen. We've got to do something, and I have my own ideas, but another topic for another day. But how I can help is to help change my own industry, because marketing is manipulative and it is causing a lot of this damage. So what I did is I thought of 7 things that you can do to implement in your marketing strategy to make it more ethical and try to curb this excessive consumerism, because our job here as ethical brand owners is not really to sell more, 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 more and get rich, 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 right? We want to sell our products and services. Yes, we want to do a service. We want to help solve people's problems. We want to be able to produce things ethically so that we do reduce the harm done to our environment. Yes, but what we're also trying to do is not just speak to the conscious consumer who already has this mindset. We're just such a small percentage of the population. We have to reach the mass consumer as well. So these are tactics that anybody can implement, and they're still successful. So yeah, let me dig right into them. I will state them first, and then I'll say a little bit about each one. Okay. I do have to look at my notes because I can't remember everything. So the first one, and this is probably the easiest step, is to use rounded numbers instead of charm prices. Okay. The second one is be honest and transparent. The third one, encourage abundance and patience. Fourth, to build trusting collaborations and long-lasting collaborations. The fifth one is to implement a brilliant customer service strategy. And number 6, to develop meaningful relationships on social media. Put the social back in social media. And number 7 is to close the sale ethically. Okay, let's talk about number 1. Use rounded numbers instead of charm prices. Okay, we all know this $2.99, $3.97, whatever, 454, I don't know. There's really weird numbers out there. And, you know, when we talk to our friends, somebody says, hey, how much is it? We're not going to say $2.99, we're going to say $3, right? We're just automatically say $3 because it basically is $3. What's a penny, right? So these charm prices are the $2.99s, the $3.97s, and whatnot. And they were developed like over a year ago, over 100 years ago, because of pure psychology, because our brains read we read from left to right, right? And our brains process the information that if the number on the far left is low, we feel like we're getting a bargain, even though we're not, right? Even though 3 cents means nothing. But we feel that way. And so it's just psychology, and in that manipulative, right? It's manipulation. We're trying to get into the brains of our customers, which that is marketing, right? I mean, we do want to know what our customers think, but this is just a cheap tactic to say, hey, this product is cheaper than that product or whatever. Buy it, buy it, buy it. And so a first easy step is to take the pricing pledge from the Ethical Move, of which I'm an active member contributor. And it's just so simple. Just use rounded prices. Just say $3. Just say $250. It's so easy and so simple, and it still works. Nobody's going to say, oh my God, that's $300. I'm not going to pay it because I would only pay for $297, right? Nobody even thinks that way. We just have it in our brains that $297 is okay, when, you know, it's not really that big of a problem. But this is just an easy, simple first step in ethical marketing. So below I will put the information for taking the pricing pledge, and the website, and you can read about it, you can learn about it, and just take it, you know, just say, okay, from now on, I'm going to use round prices. So number 2, be honest and transparent. And this may be obvious to everybody. It may seem like it's like also overused, like transparency. Like, how many times have we heard that word? A million times. And yes, the word is overused, but there's a reason for it, because I'm still not seeing enough of it. Okay. One example, this is great. We give 5% to charities. 5% of what? Profit, sales, what 5% of what, and what charities? I don't know. I don't know who I'm supporting when I hear that, when I read that. So it's one thing to say that, and it's another thing to say, for every dollar you spend, or for every $10 you spend, we spend $1 planting a tree in the Amazon rainforest with One Tree Planted, which is an organization that plants trees in the rainforest, like in Borneo, to help save the wildlife there, the orangutans and stuff. So it's one thing, you know, to say just something totally unclear, and another thing to be very specific, so that your customers will know exactly who they're supporting. And they expect that too, because if I read something and I don't know, then I look in the FAQs and it's not in there, it's not in the about page, whatever. I'm like, what do I do? Do I contact the company and spend and waste my time, or do I go somewhere else where I know where my money is going to? You know, I mean, you're a social enterprise, so everybody expects you to have some kind of a giving back strategy, and if you just communicate it clearly, then that will make sense. And that goes with everything, like honesty. Be honest. If you are not 100% ethical, because nobody is, then, you know, say, okay, well, we're using this material right now because it's the best that we can do at this time, but we're looking for better solutions. That's just authentic, that's honest, that's being real. And people resonate with that rather than trying to cover it up and using different words in your messaging to try to, not really reveal any secrets. You shouldn't have any dirty secrets anyway, but anytime we produce anything, it's doing some kind of damage to our environment, or somewhere. Um, no matter how we look at it, but we still need stuff, right? We still are consumers. We will always be consumers, and we still need our stuff. So we still need products. So it's okay. So that's, just think about before you write your messaging. Just, think about, well, am I being completely honest and transparent? Will everybody understand what I'm writing? Will they ask questions? Because if you don't answer the questions before they're asked, then it's just better if you if you answer them before they're asked, right? Because then people don't have to search, they'll trust you more. It's just better for your reputation. So yeah, that's number 2. And number 3, encourage abundance and patience. And this is a big one. And this is a tough nut to crack, because we see this so often, and it's also so ingrained in our brains. These scarcity and urgency tactics that enable the FOMO, the fear of missing out in our human brain. Like the only 3 seats left. Buy now or else, the sale will be gone. Those timers on websites, only 3 hours left. Or like right after enrolling in a course, well, if you buy this, then, within the next 20 minutes, you'll get this bonus, or, you'll get 10 bonuses worth $3,472. I don't know. This, like, those bonus things, that's another thing. Bonuses and courses are part of the courses. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. They are part of the course. They're not a bonus. They're part of it. And these bonuses worth so much money, it's just another manipulation tactic to think you're getting a good deal. Because I have taken courses on how to create courses, and they literally say your bonuses should be worth more than your courses. And I'm like, no, know your worth. You have knowledge that you are giving to other people if you're creating a course or if you teach in any way. So know your worth, and say, hey, this is my course material. This is what you get. There's no extras. This is it. And make sure that course material is high quality, right? If you could always add stuff later, because courses grow. It's never a done deal and never finished. Courses are never finished, right? At least the good ones aren't. So, I'm currently creating my course on how to create an ethical marketing strategy. So, when I launch that next spring, I'm sure that in the fall, I'll have new material, I'll have different material, and I will just add it to the course. And I will tell my people, hey, I've just added this information to my course, because my course will be evergreen and it will be available forever. So that students in the very beginning, they'll still get that information, and it's all good. I'm not going to try to con anybody into buying it, into enrolling like right there, because, hey, I've got these billion bonuses. I've done it before, though. I've done a masterclass and I had bonuses, but then I thought about it. I was like, it just feels sleazy. And, so just think about stuff like that. And, think about your timers and your tactics, and like, hey, I'm going to send you 15 mails over the next 5 days to try to get you to purchase. It's just pressuring unnecessarily, because if you establish a deep and lasting relationships with your customers and clients, present them the offer, show them the value of your offer and how they will benefit from that offer, whether it's a product or a service. And if they say yes, then they'll buy from you. If they're not sure, you can send, an extra email, another email reminding them. That's perfect because we're all busy. We don't remember things. So I do need reminders myself, and I invite them. So that's all fine, but just, alleviate the pressure, the manipulation, the scarcity and urgency tactics, and just think, like, if you don't feel good when you get those kind of mails and when you read that kind of copywriting, if you don't feel good about it, then you should definitely not use it in your own right. But I still see it all over the place. But it's something that we just have to learn because, like I said, I've been a marketer since 1991. I've been using this kind of stuff too. So, so I am now very conscious about it. And yeah, it's just something we have to all learn as marketers and business owners, to not use the traditional tactics we've been using for decades. So anyway, number 4, build trust and collaborations. Oh, this is huge too in the ethical space. How many times have you heard collaborations is the new competition? I've heard it a million times, but I still don't see it. And one thing, like, I have hired my competition because 4 eyes are better than 2. Always 6 eyes are better than 4. So I will hire people to look over my copy and make sure, proofread for typos, because I'm like crazy. I'm a psycho typer. I'm a 10-finger blind typer because I learned on the typewriter going A, So I type like a mad woman, right? And so I'll have a gazillion typos in there, and I'll also, invite the opinion of an expert copywriter as well, who knows what she's doing. Sabina Harnow from Scratch. That's who I hired to look over my copywriting. And she's brilliant, because she will think of things that I won't think of when I'm writing it, because it's one thing for me to read my own writing than to read my client's writing, right? It just is. I may write a blog post or my opt-in newsletter subscription form or an email or whatever. I'll write it, and if it's something I've read like a bunch of times, I'm blind to it. I will not see this stuff anymore. And I've changed my opt-in so many times, a few times, just to see what sticks and what works, because copywriting and marketing is experimentation. You have to see what converts better. That's what it is. And so I hire her, even though I also check other people's copywriting as a service. But I hire her to check my writing. I collaborate with Sean Conway from Ethical Hour. We are both strategical ethical marketers. That's our job. We have different ways of doing things, but we still work together and help each other out. We're in a mastermind together, and we help each other out. And I've hired her to do my Instagram stories and to help me with my funnel strategy, just to make sure that, okay, there aren't any missing links or whatever. Just because she has her own expertise and I have my own expertise, and we work together that way. And even though we're direct competitors. And one thing that I find, it's like, I think a lot of people are just scared to do it because they think that the competition will steal your clients, steal your customers, whatever. And yeah, there is a fear there. Yeah, there is a risk there. There are people who are sleazy and who will definitely do you wrong. So you got to pick pick your collaborations carefully. And I'm proud to say that I really do enjoy mine. So I think I did a good job as far as picking them out. Um, but like, okay, here's one example: the fashion industry. The fashion industry is highly competitive. It's insanely competitive, and um, but when you think about it, like there is not one human on this planet who is loyal to one brand. I not even the people who work at a brand. That just doesn't happen. So if you're a sustainable fashion brand owner, you can collaborate with another sustainable fashion brand owner and organize a fashion show, because you'll invite other people into your space and say, hey, this is what I present, because your show would never be exactly the same as your competitors, right? It just won't. You're going to have different things. You're going to have different styles. And they're going to be people, they're going to be their customers who like your stuff too, and vice versa. So that's like a perfect way to collaborate. Or you could bulk buy your materials, because it is expensive to buy that amount of linen and so much amount of hemp. I don't really know the details, but your supply chain better than I do. So, just think of ways that you can bring in people who know your industry as well, who could also help you move forward. There are tons of ways, tons of creative ways, and just okay. Well, let me go to number 5, because I'm gonna do this transition right now. Number 5 is implement brilliant customer service, and this has a lot to do with competition as well, because oh, it's crazy. When I was a marketing director before I became self-employed and then founded Ethical Brand Marketing, I was a marketing director, and I worked for a company who talked about the competition as if it was the plague, as if it were the worst thing on earth. They were so scared about their competition because their competition was the market leader. It had more of the market share in the world, and therefore, obviously, more money, more employees, but they had a different strategy as far as employers. We had partners around the world, but they had employees around the world. So that's a different strategy. And they were just so concerned about the competition. Me as their marketing director, not so much, because I viewed our company as the Apple in the Apple versus Microsoft scenario. We were more innovative, forward thinking. We would develop things faster because we didn't have that huge infrastructure. We still had a decent amount of employees, but it wasn't like huge. We didn't have to go through 6 channels to get a pencil, right? So it was just structured differently and more efficiently, in my opinion. So we were able to develop faster, responding to customer service easier. We had a good support team, an excellent support team. And we were the cool brand. We were. And so, so that's why I didn't worry about the competition. In fact, I became, as a work friends with the competition's marketing director. We still have a little contact today, even though we're both neither at the company, at those companies. But it's just funny, because if you concentrate on somebody else's customers, you're going to lose track and focus on your own customer. And that's how you can set yourself apart. You have to implement customer service no matter what kind of business you have. But if you excel at that, then you can move mountains, because there's nothing that beats excellent customer service. In fact, I live in Germany. I'm a US expat, and I've been living in Germany since 1995. And when I first moved here, customer service was not a thing. I would, I would go to a store and I would like put my stuff on the counter, and two ladies near the cash register would be talking their personal stuff, you know, and they looked up at me, gave me a dirty look, and continued talking. I'm like, can I pay? Can I like help pay your salary? Thinking to myself, I'm like, what is this? Where did I move? What happened? Seriously, it wasn't until the internet came and literally hurt these retail stores and Walmart. I swear, Walmart came in, and I mean, they just didn't survive in Germany. I think they were here like 5 years. They did not survive, but they kind of like showed Germany, hey, this is what customer service looks like. You be friendly at people who walk in your store. But for Germans, that was like, why are you looking at me? Why are you smiling at me? It was so weird. I'm like, because we're friendly. That's what you do when you have customers. I don't know. It was just a total different mindset. And now Germany has a halfway decent customer service policy in their stores and in their brands. And like one example, this is so cool. I have rosacea. You probably can't see right now, but I do have a problem with my skin, and I break out, you know, the sun shines and I'm like, poof, or, you know, whatever. I use sunblock and poof. So I have to be careful at different certain things, and also about the products. So before I started using my own products and making my own products, I looked into mineral makeup. Actually, I don't make makeup. I can't go that route. But I looked into mineral makeup because I thought that would be good. And instead of like saying 10% off on your first purchase if you sign up to this newsletter, they offered me a deal where I could send them a picture of my naked face without any makeup, and they would tell me what they would suggest to use. And so, you know, I told them I had rosacea. I took a picture, and they showed me like, you know, I don't know, 5 products or 4 products. I can't remember. And I thought that was brilliant. I was like, yes, thank you. And another one for a cream, she called me on the phone because I wrote an email. I think I got like an email, how's this product working out for you? Because she knew I had rosacea too. And I was like, yeah, I kind of broke out and I don't know what to do. And maybe it's the alcohol, I don't know. But she called me on the phone. Who does that? Nobody calls their customers on the phone. I thought that was brilliant. I mean, not everybody wants to be bothered, but this was brilliant customer service and made them stand out. And yes, I purchased from them. And yes, I talk about them, and actually they're called Rosacea Care. The other one, I'll have to put a link down below because I can't remember what they're called because I still have the makeup. I don't use makeup very often. So I still have it, and I haven't needed to buy it again. So I will put the link down to be fair, because these are just excellent customer service experiences that you normally don't see. So moving on, number 6. Develop meaningful relationships via social media. Oh, put the social back at social media, please. Facebook and Co. are now being forced to do different things so that it's more social, so that it's more kind, because they're getting in trouble lately for, you know, for I don't know, enabling hate and spam and all this stuff that we didn't sign up for when we opened an account on these channels. The people on Instagram who follow you to get your follow and then unfollow you back. Bad, go away, don't follow me. Please, I don't like to spend time on people who do that. So you don't have to do this. I spend time on unfollowing people who do that. Not through an app. I manually go through the work when I'm bored. I'm never bored, so it hasn't happened in months. But I have done that in the past. I'm not saying that you have to do that, but I do not like to support somebody who sleazes me into following them. I don't like that tactic. And there are other things. Oh my gosh, all the spam bots. Oh, don't tell me, don't write a spam comment telling me I need to get an elephant bracelet on my wrist, and then bot me through the direct messages. Those I don't see anymore, which thank goodness I do not see anymore, because Facebook has to phase that out, because they're getting in trouble and they're going to have to go to court again. They're going to have to pay a lot of money again, and they know it. So they're phasing these things out. And also the likes on Instagram. In several countries, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Brazil, I think. I mentioned this a few months ago, but they're now not seeing the number of likes on a particular post. They're seeing it on their own post, so they know how many likes they have on each post, but they're not seeing it on other people's posts, which is interesting, because that enables an imposter syndrome, or I feel so unworthy feeling in people, right? This competitive feeling. So, excuse me. So Facebook is now starting to learn how to play the game ethically, but in doing so, they're hurting a lot of brands too, right? Because we're now seeing everybody's seeing the dip in Instagram on their likes, everybody, and they're scared about it, because the algorithms are changing and whatnot. I got on I'll also put the link down below. I got on a Facebook Live with Sean Conway from the Ethical Hour last week to talk about this. And one thing that we didn't get to talk about that I feel is still very important is that if you feel this pressure about social media, the thing is that you have to build the deep connections. They want to see comments. They want to see direct messages. They want to see Facebook groups. They want to see human interaction. So concentrate on building these relationships with your customers, with potential customers. And that means commenting. You will have to spend a lot more commenting than posting. Spend that time with engagement. That was one thing. I'm sure we talked about that, but another thing is, be more intentional with your social media. So not all the posting, because that will not get you anywhere. But if you feel like so pressured and stressed over social media, you are more than willing to take a break. You have the permission. Take a break, take a social media break, and log off all channels and just don't worry about it. No notifications, don't worry about it, and see how you feel. See if you have a dip. You probably won't, because if you look at your web stats, I'm 100% positive that you are not getting that much traffic from Instagram, because people do not go to the link in bio. They just don't. They just scroll, and but if they're interested, they will. But I get more traffic from Facebook personally, but hardly any from Instagram. So, that tells me, one, I need to nurture my Instagram followers differently than Facebook. And two, I'm not concentrating on Instagram anymore. I'm not posting like I used to at all. I'm not. I'm posting every now and then spontaneously. I do have a calendar, an editorial calendar. I do write my posts, my blog posts, and then, talk about it on Instagram with a pretty picture and stuff. I do post, but not that often. And not as often as I used to, because it's not getting me anywhere anymore, because the algorithms are changing, and that's fine. I'm concentrating more on the engagement, and I'm being more intentional with the social media. So let's treat everybody like humans and not machines, and just be more social. Okay. Number 7, close the sale ethically. And this is a hard one. Not just for social entrepreneurs, but I think for everyone. I mean, I'm a marketer, so I'm not a salesperson, and that's like, phew, that's one of the things where I'm like, I don't like to sell, you know. It just here, this is my offer, come to me, you know. I mean, that's how I used to be, but at the end of the day, you still have to sell. You have to ask for that sale. And I see a lot of times, product-based businesses know this. They seem to be able to do this well, although I'm seeing too much sales as opposed to nurturing your customers. Like a lot of hard pitches. It's like, buy our product, or, you know, check out this page and check out this product. And especially on social media, they're ice cold leads, ice cold. So when you think about it, if somebody follows you on Instagram, they're not going to want to be sold to like right away and immediately and a lot. Okay. That's like asking somebody to marry you on the first date, right? You just don't do that. So you have to kind of nurture them. You have to kind of give them information. But if they're, you know, if you had already given this information like 2 months ago about your products and your materials and your supply chain and, you know, your mission, you know, you're probably going to have to repeat it. So just repeat it in a different way, you know. Basically, there is a sort of rule: 20% sales and 80% information. You have so much you can talk about, you know, your mission, the sustainable development goals that you're trying to reach, you know, what is your giving back strategy, what do you want for this world, what is your vision, what are you trying, why did you start this business, because you could have started any business. So there's so much information, even, you know, about the people who are making your clothes. You know, there's so much information you can give and can repeat in a different way with a different picture or whatever. So you're not redundant. You know, you don't want to, you know, bore people who know you anyway. But just remember, on Facebook, what is it? 0.01% are seeing your posts anyway. So don't worry about being repetitive, because they're not going to see it. They're not going to see it hardly anyway. They may see it once in a year, you know, so don't worry about that, right? So what I see in service-based businesses sometimes is that the offer is not clear enough. It's not optimized for the client, enough for the client to want to buy it. So, and sometimes it's like I'm asking somebody for an offer, and I'm like, okay, well, give me your offer. I want to know this information. Can you help me? And sometimes I get nothing because there's a fear of giving out too much information. That's one problem, I think, or I know. The fear of giving out your secret, but you know, you have to figure out what the right amount of information that you want to give out at a particular time is enough. But if you don't give out any information, not even an offer, you're not going to get the sale. That person will say, okay, bye-bye, I'll go somewhere else, or I'll figure it out myself. And this has happened. So yeah, it's quite interesting to think about these things that we've been doing for so long, for decades, and trying to, you know, pick out the manipulation, trying to kind of put it in a different way so it's not as sleazy. Because at the end of the day, we still want to sell our products and services, right? And people still want our products and services, but we just don't have to pressure them to do it, right? So let me know what you think. That's all I have for you today. You can also go to my blog, post about this, and I will put a link in the bottom as well. And so let me know what you think. Comment on the blog post, because that's one thing. If you comment here, I'm on YouTube. If you comment here on YouTube, sure, it helps my YouTube page. but commenting on my website would help me even more. So my ask for you, my call to action is comment and let me know if you've implemented any of these strategies, any of these practices, and tell me how it's going out, how it's working out for you. Let me know if you have any new ones. That would be awesome to also talk about new things that we can do in the marketing industry. I'd love to hear from you. So that's it. Have a wonderful day and rock on. Bye.